Daily Post report that the genocide claim have triggered conversations, and the Nigerian government has since denied the allegation, saying both Christians and Muslims coexist peacefully. As of the time of filing this report, the details of this cleric's visit to Tinubu and the villa is yet to be ascertained, as the presidency has not yet commented. That's coming from Daily Post newspaper. In a related development about Christian genocide, let me bring this story from the Punch newspaper. Following its designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, the United States has said it will work with the federal government to take decisive actions aimed at arresting perpetrators of religious violence, protecting Christians, and rescuing those held hostage. The chair of the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, Vicky Haslers, whose recommendation led the President Donald Trump to blacklist Nigeria as a violator of religious freedom, disclosed this while welcoming the U.S. leader's decision. China, however, voiced strong support for Nigeria and criticized what is called foreign interference in the country's internal affairs. However, the People's Republic of China has strongly criticized the U.S. actions against Nigeria, describing it as a flagrant interference in the country's internal affairs. At a press conference in Beijing on Tuesday, the Foreign Ministry's spokesperson, Mao Ning, said China stood firmly with Nigeria in pursuing its own development path and opposed the use of religion or human rights as tools for political pressure. Her remarks, circulated by the Chinese embassy in Abuja, read as, and I quote, "As a comprehensive strategic partners of Nigeria, China firmly support the Nigerian government in leading its people on a development path that aligns with its national realities. We oppose any country's interference in other nations' internal affairs under the pretext of religion or human rights. We also oppose the wanton threat of sanctions or the use of force." End of quote. Meanwhile, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said President Bola was taking concrete steps to ensure the safety of lives and property across the country. Speaking with the state health correspondent after a meeting with the president at the presidential villa Abuja on Tuesday, Idris said his discussions with Tinubu included the recent U.S. comment on Nigeria. He noted that the president had called for calm, assuring Nigerians that his administration remains focused on strengthening national security and promoting unity amid growing international scrutiny. The economic However, also on the part of the ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States has dismissed claims that the recent surge in terrorist attacks across the region, including Nigeria, amount to genocide. In a statement on Tuesday, the regional body said the attack indiscriminately targets civilians of all faiths and backgrounds, stressing that the violence cannot be classified as genocide against any particular religious group. ECOWAS urged the United Nations and other international partners to continue supporting members in their effort to counter violent extremism. A former chief of army staff and ex-minister of interior, Abdurrahman Dambasu, alleged that the United States might be seeking to establish a military base in Nigeria under the pretext of protecting Christians from persecution. Dambasu, who spoke in Abuja on Tuesday at an event organized by the Just Friends Club of Nigeria, said recent narrative by some American politicians and religious leaders about Christian genocide in Nigeria could be linked to external interest. The rest of the story from the Punch newspaper. And let me bring this story from on the politics side from the Punch newspaper. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has dismissed Tuesday's ruling of an Oyo State High Court approving the People's Democratic Party's proposed National Convention schedule for Saturday and Sunday, November 15th and 16th, year 2025 in Ibadan. Justice Ladero Akintola granted the ex parte motion filed on Monday by Folahun Adelabi in suit number in the suit and adjourned the case to November 10, 2025 for hearing of the motion on notice. The Oyo order the Oyo order contradicts last Friday's judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja, which restrained the PDP from holding the convention. Delivering judgment, Justice James Omotosho ordered that convention be halted until the party complies with Constitution, the Nigerian Constitution, and the Electoral Act. The suit was filed by the three aggrieved members of the party, Hussein Nwachukwu from Imo PDP chairman and a PDP chairman from Abia, Hama Abraham Nana, and the Tuna Alabt judge from a PDP secretary from the South. He also restrained INEC from accepting or recognizing the outcome of any national convention that is not conducted in accordance with due process, the law, and INEC's own regulation. Justice Akintola granted all interim orders sought by the claimant, restraining the defendant or their agent from truncating or frustrating the conduct of the party's scheduled national convention. The judge also directed the PDP leadership to strictly follow the guidelines, timetable, and schedule of activities earlier released for the convention, and ordered the party and its committee to urge, conduct, and convene the elective national convention as planned in Ibadan, pending the termination of the motion on notice. He likewise ordered INEC to attend, monitor, and observe the conduct of the convention in line with the Electoral Act. Details of the news story from the Punch newspaper. From Delhi Post newspaper, federal lawmaker Jafar Mohammed Ali Damisa narrowly escaped death on Tuesday when suspected terrorists ambushed his convoy. The attack occurred along the Luman Babana Road in Borgu local government areas of Niger State. Damisa, who represents Borgu and Aguara Federal Constituency, was en route to Babana for an official engagement when government suddenly opened fire on his convoy. The attackers, described as Lakurawa terrorists, locally referred to as bandits, struck in the afternoon and caught the security team unprepared. Security escorts swiftly returned fire, but one soldier was killed in the ensuing gun battle. Several others sustained serious injuries and were taken to a nearby hospital for treatment, while some political supporters were also hurt in the chaos. According to the witnesses, the attackers fired continuously, damaging several vehicles in the convoy. At least 11 vandalized vehicles were left riddled with bullets before they were later removed from the scene. That's coming from Daily Post newspaper. And about now coming to the state, Osun State. Osun State House of Assembly has passed two key bills: the Motor Door Courthouse Establishment Bill and the Osun State Road Traffic Law and Vehicle Inspection Service Bill 2025. The passage followed Monday's plenary sections at the Assembly complex in Oshogbo, where both bills were read for the third time before being approved. The Multi-Door Courthouse Establishment Bill, which seeks to promote alternative dispute resolution, have been under consideration by lawmakers for about a year. A statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary to the Speaker, Olamide Tiamiyu, described the legislation as a landmark move aimed at reforming the judicial system in the state. According to the statement, the bill, sponsored by a member, Femi Pokuola, will assist the implementation of alternative dispute resolution mechanism, thereby reducing the burden on courts and ensuring more timely and effective justice delivery. And that news story is coming from Daily Post newspaper. Still on politics from the Nation newspaper about Osun. Fear has gripped Osun State chapters of the People's Democratic Party following recent comments by the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, over the party's national leadership crisis. The comments have cast doubt on Governor Ademola Adekunle's chances of getting the party's proper nomination for his 2026 re-election bid. Wike, featuring on a national television on Monday night, was asked if the PDP would have a candidate in 2026 Osun and Ekiti state governorship election. He said the party was in danger. Wike's comments have sent jittery to Adeleke and the PDP to camp in Osun State as particular party chieftains and leaders are fretting over the development. However, Osun PDP, through its Director of Media, Oladele Olabamji, speaking with the Nation newspaper, yesterday dispelled the rumored jittery in the party ahead of the primary election. Reacting to Wike's comment, he said, and I quote, "We don't foresee any danger as far as we are concerned in the PDP. Governor Adeleke has begun his process of nomination, which we all know. The process will be completed without any issue, I can assure you." End of quote. That story is coming from the Nation newspaper. Now it's now your turn to have your say on the program. The number to call through to the studio are 0707 07064809896 07064809896, and if you are calling outside the world, 081 1625828 081 1625828. Those are the lines to reach us through to the studio to have your say on the program. And you can as well leave your comment on our Facebook page at Ayekooto 88.3fm. We are going to read out your comment loud to the listeners. The number to call through to the studio again is 07064809896 07064809896, and the downline 081 1625848 081 1625848. Those are the lines to reach us through to the studio to have your say on the program. Hello? Hello? Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Ayekooto 88.3fm from Bezu in the local government area of Nigeria.
Good to have you, sir.
I wish to comment on the two conflicting judgments over the People Democratic Party National Convention, which is scheduled to be held. I'm personally convinced over the two separate judgments delivered by the two different judges. The first judgment came from Federal High Court, adjourned at Abuja some days ago, reassuring the organizers of the party to be held until the matter before the court is clear. While the second judgment came from an Oyo State High Court judge sitting at Ibadan yesterday, Tuesday 4/11/2025, to go ahead with the already planned PDP National Convention. It's a great surprising for the two different judges from the two different courts in the same country to be taking that type of a conflicting judgment. Is calling for our nation's judiciary to check this action very well in order not to allow the hand to be hitting each other's intestines. Which really means God bless Nigeria. Good morning, ma.
Good morning, sir. Thank you. I Chief sir for you from Facebook. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Eda Prince Gadibi
Good to
from
have you.
Lulu Compound.
Good to
I
have
want
you.
to specifically appeal to Nweke. He claimed to be a member of PDP and he joined the party. Why is that? If you remember what happened to Bababola Ige, because when you are behaving as if you are God, you should especially joining with the last people of Osun State concerning Adeleke's election to run the second term. Who is performing well in Osun State? It is suicidal. You should be very careful so that people in Osun State will not cause him. You should be very careful and stay away from PDP. If you want to go out, you should go out. If you want to stay, you should stay. God bless Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you, Eda Dele. We appreciate your Susan contribution on the program. The number to call through to the studio 07064809896 07064809896. And if you are calling outside, you will and you want to be part of the show, 081 162 58428 081 162 58428. Those are the lines to reach us to have your say on the program. And let me quickly bring this story from Daily Sun newspaper. Okay. Oh, we lost the call. Okay, from the Sun newspaper, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amupito San, has assured Nigerians that the upcoming Anambra State of Cycle governorship election will be peaceful and credible, vowing to deal with election malpractice. He gave this assurance at the ongoing signings of the Peace Accord convened by the National Peace Committee, NPC, led by former head of state, General Abdusalami Abubakar. And his goodwill message, the Professor Amupito praised the NPC for its unwavering commitment and to foster peaceful election in Nigeria, noting that the devolution of the Peace Accord to off-cycle governorship elections have been a critical factor in reducing electoral tensions and violence. After witnesses the success of the Peace Accord at the national level, the NPC graciously agreed 5 years ago to our request to devolve its signing. This became necessary given the tensions and violence that have accompanied some past elections. End of quote. That's Mukito stated. He, however, emphasized that signatures of the document are symbolic and must be backed by genuine action. You can read all from the Sun newspaper. And we have those that join us on our Facebook page. We have Salawu Adeyinka. Thank you for joining us on that side. Wasiu Adeto, we appreciate you. Thank you. Oluwalogbon Kosim, we appreciate you. Thank you. Ali Afolabi, thank you for joining us on that side. And Tajudi Motunrayo, thank you for joining us on the side. And we cannot take more call again because the time is far spent on the program. We appreciate you for joining me on the program, and those who are called through to the studio, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us on Ayekooto Flashpoint, a newspaper review from the stable of Ayekooto 88.3 FM. I remain Zainab Ojekon. Thank you for joining me on the program.